Hey there, my friend. Perry Tinsley here. Let me ask you this. Have you ever thought of having a health and wellness goal and then even one that excites you, and then somehow your brain starts to take detours and you really haven't even started the journey yet? Well, I can think of, and I'm going to share a boatload of ideas here on what my little mindset was, but maybe you can relate to some of these. Just starting a health and fitness journey can really feel like you're heading out on a road trip with no GPS. Maybe there's no internet on phone. You haven't even, turned on the maps or anything like that. There's so many routes to choose from. Each one has its own roadblocks or detours or speed limits, and that becomes pretty overwhelming. You're trying to figure things out. Well, this all happens when you haven't even started the car yet. You haven't even flipped over the ignition, and you're questioning, do I even drive? Should I even leave the driveway? Let's shift your perspective. But I do want to take the moment here and welcome you to another Power Blast podcast where we provide nourishment for the soul, allowing you to transform from the inside out, providing rapid results in mindset. We work a lot on mindset and fitness so that you can recharge that mental and physical battery of yours and reclaim your power. And before we get into all that, make sure you head over to my calendar at talktoperry.com. I opened the calendar up just for the podcast listeners, podcast viewers, because we are doing this episode on video, and it's all about helping you navigate with more ease and simplicity so that you can keep your energy high without all the distractions and putting forth your energy and all the potential obstacles so that you can reach your goals. We do that in 15 minutes on a call. TalkToPerry.com is where that's at. So as I reflect back to the many times I went to start to get in shape again, my mind, it was like almost each time, like I had this little checklist thing. Set a goal. Now think of all the things that you have, all the hurdles you have to overcome before you even get started. I mean, my mind would literally race all over the place. Everything from where would I exercise? Do I even have the time? Should I get some equipment and do it from home? Should I join a gym? What if I can't stick with it? Maybe I should wait until after the holidays, or maybe until after summer, or maybe next month or next year. Do I have the best plan? Is this going to be the one that gives me the results? What if I put in all that time and energy and don't see any results? Maybe I'll be wasting my time. Maybe I should clear out all the tempting junk that's in my kitchen. Well, I don't want to just give it away. Maybe I'll have a little binge fest. I'll clear over the next week. I'll just binge on all the food stuff and then start next Monday or the following Monday. Because you know what? Once I start, I'm bound to starve. I'm bound to be deprived. I'm bound to just dread life and never enjoy food again. Okay, so that is literally that over and over and over was the starting point for those. And I never gave the consideration of what if I just trusted myself and believed it would work and didn't worry about that stuff. But that my brain was just like, it's like I wanted to take the road trip and I was committed to the road trip, but I kept my car up on blocks inside the garage. Okay? So if I can give a little bit of a perspective shift, if this is you and you can relate to any of that, imagine instead of rushing to get to your destination, I know we want results so fast, especially when it comes to health and fitness. We've gotten to a tipping point. We're frustrated. We want something to stick. And when we start, we better see wins add up real quick, right? But what if you shift the perspective and you said, you know what? I'm just going to take a leisurely scenic drive where there's no fixed route, no super strict timeline. I'm not feeling lost. I'm just exploring, discovering new stuff. I'm not stuck. I'm not taking a time out either. I'm being adventurous. And so take that in for a second. And how might you approach your fitness a little bit differently? Because this is your journey. You're in the driver's seat. And if you find your brain and your mind is starting to overcomplicate things, that's just some old programming that's come up over and over again. It took me a while to realize that. It's like, there it is again. It's old programming, and that means I need to replace the program that I've been either brought up with or I learned somehow. Maybe it was my environment. Maybe it's just awkward life experiences. I don't know. But if you can apply the stuff to the mindset stuff to your health and fitness journey, instead of worrying how to perfect your form in the gym or how many calories you had for lunch, and I do agree, having a plan is really great. And so if you had a plan that you're going to do a road trip across the country, just know there's going to be detours, obstacles, potential ones. Not every time, sometimes you can just get on an interstate that doesn't have any issues. When has that ever happened? But, maybe you just start to look at things with what are things I have within my control. I talked about this on my audio podcast the other day. What are the things within your control and what are the things that are not in your control? And the things within your control, take advantage of those. Things out of your control, just change your perspective on how you react to them. So maybe you opt to take the stairs instead of the escalator or elevator somewhere. Maybe you swap out soda for water or alcohol for alkaline water, whatever it is. Making your journey more enjoyable, lifelong experience, because I think for a lot of times people want that. They dread fitness. They dread the workouts. They dread oh my gosh, I'm going to have to be accountable and all this stuff. And while those things can really be awesome tools for you to progress, you got to start. And if you are keeping yourself from even starting, maybe you just shift your perspective to not overcomplicate it so much. Because, James Clear in his book, I think he says it in Atomic Habits. If he doesn't, he said it on a blog somewhere, where in the beginning, when you're just starting out with your health and fitness, it's more important to develop the habits first than it is to see the results. So if you can shift your mindset around that should free you up to be able to not even burden yourself with all these worries and concerns and self-doubt and all this stuff. If you're just like, you know what, I'm just going to focus on the habit of showing up. I'm going to replace maybe my most unhealthy meal of the day with a salad. Maybe and do that consistently. Maybe I'm getting in extra water. Maybe I'm swapping out and finding healthier versions of the snacks I've been binging on that I've been getting out of a vending machine. It's the simple little actions. Maybe it's just going for a mini walk during your break as opposed to, or I can't think of anything else, but whatever, you insert the thing that maybe you're not most effectively using your time for. Just doing a 3-minute walk several times throughout your day. Still get in your exercise. Maybe you do enough to get in 30 minutes of exercise. You're just doing 3 minutes a time, 10 times a day. And it's not overwhelming you and not at a point where you're like, oh my gosh, I got to schedule all this in. Maybe you're hydrating yourself and giving your organs a break instead of having to process sugar or process alcohol. That can all have a simple impact. Maybe you're snacking more toward your goals that you have versus just mindlessly doing something because you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed. You're doing something to nourish your body, natural whole ingredients. Maybe you're resting well and you're getting better sleep. That helps lower the stress level. Maybe you're giving yourself some mental fitness. A lot of this stuff, it's the stories and things going on between our ears. But even the practice of just deep breathing, like box breathing, you can Google that, or 478 breathing, you can Google that routine as well. That can be such an essential part of just creating ease and flow for you. I mean, small changes, just over time, they can really add up. It's just being consistent and intentional with them. And if you don't overthink it and overcomplicate it and just do things intentionally, you're going to find that all of a sudden, your perspective's going to and outlook's going to improve. Your happiness is, your energy for sure. And you're going to be creating that momentum. Just like a car that maybe starts out slow, is getting out on the interstate. You're not going right out at 60, 70, 80 miles an hour right out of the gate, but you're just incrementing, just kind of gaining your momentum, And before you know it, those small, tiny habits, they become momentum boosters. They propel you toward your health and fitness goals. Yeah, there's going to be roadblocks and detours. Shift your perspective on that, how you're going to react to those. If you've had struggles in the past, maybe you're like, oh, there's my little struggle. There's my how do I want to react this time? If you actually take a look out in the future and say, okay, I'm going to see myself, I'm closing my eyes right now. I'm going to see myself at my end result. Who am I at that end result? What sort of actions do I do? What are my behaviors? What is my mindset? What is my thinking at that end result? And if you catch yourself when you're getting reactive or that you're starting to go a little bit off track, bring those elements of you at your end result and start doing those now. If that person at your end result doesn't skip workouts and chooses healthy foods and fuels the mindset, start doing those now. Just little bits at a time. You're going to find a big perspective, especially if you catch yourself like with some negative self-talk, your negative self-talk or getting off track. You can catch yourself and go, oh, whoa, I'm not going in the direction I desire. Old program. Let's bring in the new program of what my end goal is and start doing those actions, right? And that's where I can help with navigating that stuff. Hop on a call with me, talktoperry.com, because so many of us, we often, we're distracted. We bounce from thing to thing to thing all day. We are like a 6-year-old smartphone, 2% battery life, panicking because there's not a charger in sight. And you actually have the charger in your hand, but you can't see it. It's like, where is it? Where is it? I want to help you recharge. I want to be that fuel for you, that roadmap, helping you roadmap, helping you, because I want to hear what goals you're working through, struggles that you have, and especially things that become an energy drain for you. And I'll tell you within 15 minutes of us talking together what direction is going to be best for you, where you're going to get the biggest result from, so that you can reclaim that power of yours and boost up that mental and physical battery of yours. I'll give you 3 strategies as well so that you can boost your energy, reclaim your time, and make you the priority. So hop on it, talktoperry.com. I point down there because I think I've got a lower third there, but it might be also in the show notes there. But let's stop worrying about the best route and the fastest route and enjoying the scenic tour, embracing it, learning new things along the way, making one small change at a time. And just know you can choose to use your power and take control and build that momentum, or you can let the excuses, justifications, a busy life, the busy badge that you might wear, control you and drain your power. It's really deciding and committing to yourself and your goals and choosing to figure out new ways, looking at possibilities, learning and growing, and keep moving forward. You've got this, my friend. I'd love to hear your top takeaways from today. You can drop those down in the comments. I promise I will reply. You absolutely rock, my friend. And as always, remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week. That's another Power Blast podcast in the books. Thanks so much for tuning in. And remember, when you are ready to recharge your battery, make sure you go to talktoperry.com. That's talktoperry.com. That's Perry. And I want to listen. I want to hear, what's going on. I want to help you in that 15-minute call to recharge your battery and reclaim your power so that you're off and running and creating massive momentum toward your dream. Also, every day, I am delivering more motivation, support, tips, and strategies inside my free community with amazing people like yourself. And we are conquering the mindset and the fitness. I do 52 weeks of free training in there. Plus, I coach and I mentor people, as well as give you access to tons of resources and guides. It's called my Upside Down Fitness community because we work on a lot of mindset stuff, the inside stuff. And we're a fun group of people striving to make healthier habits in this awesome chapter of life. So make sure you get in there. I promise you'll absolutely love it. Just head over to upsidedownfit.com and you can get into the group. And hey, you would be an awesome friend if you get over to iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcast and leave an honest rating and review for the Power Blast podcast. It helps awesome people like you find the show even faster, and that's who I'm looking for, awesome people like you. That's all I have for this week, my friend, and just to let you know, you absolutely rock. That's all I have for this week. I'll see you on the next Power Blast podcast, and always remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week.